You're looking directly into the face of a liar in the sport of boxing, Gervonta Tank Davis. And the reason that Gervonta is a liar is because with all of his supporters, he is taking away from the basics of boxing by joining the circus, becoming another member of the leaders of the new fool. Let's talk about the upcoming matchup between he and Jake Paul. And so it has been announced, according to Mike Coppinger from Ring Magazine, that Gervonta Tank Davis and Jake Paul will meet in an exhibition November 15th on Netflix. I am now considering these men leaders of the new fool. Loon Coon Buffoonery, Part 24. Welcome. The reason for naming both leaders of the new fool is because since he has joined the fighting sport, or the game of fighting and sport fighting, Jake Paul has been running tremendous game on, let's just call them fans. It's one of the reasons that I do not support what he does. And when you take the high caliber names of the sport of boxing and draw them into that little world and away from what they normally do with the sport, it takes away from the sport tremendously. And so therefore, you don't get the proper representation of matches that fans of the sport of boxing truly want to see. But you begin to develop a fanfare that is, for lack of a better term, adolescent in their approach to the sport. They don't have the wherewithal or the intellect to understand and decipher what's important and what's not. I've listened to tons of people talk about Gervonta Tank Davis and what his next moves should be, bearing in mind that he barely got past a cherry pick in Lamont Roach in a fight that he probably should have dropped the decision with, and didn't bother to even consider a rematch. But that's okay. He doesn't have to face Roach in a rematch. Many fighters have had these type of situations where they don't rematch. But facing your contemporaries is important. And Gervonta has yet to be in a fight which the public demands that he face his contemporaries. Fighters like Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, and others. He has not gone out of his way to do anything like that. And even the match with Roach was a selection by Gervonta when he could have picked one of the others. In interviews where he's allowed people to ask him, would you be interested in fighting this one or that one? He's like, oh, whoever you would name or whatever. But he hasn't stepped up to that plate. Even Vasyl Lomachenko, he didn't face him when he could have. We've seen many fighters on the flip side of what he's done in the lightweight division and junior lightweight division become champions and even undisputed without he contesting anything. So when we look at him going into a situation where he will face Paul in an exhibition, this is no more than just he trying to secure a financial windfall without risking anything in an alleged exhibition. It's something that an established fighter, a retired fighter, could do and entertain, but not someone who's in the prime of their career. It is not something to respect when you see this. There's going to be a lot of back and forth because this news has been announced. And The loser in it is Tank Davis, not the fans, not the sport of boxing, not even Lamont Roach, because we will move on, but there'll come a time when he'll have to look back on his own personal career and recognize the fact that he could have done more when he chose not to, and his outside of the ring circumstances, which has led to arrests and even jail time, will continue to be at the forefront of whom he could have been as a fighter. It's really no waste to see someone like Gervonta Tank Davis go the route that he's going, and I would advise others to just keep it moving, because there'll always be someone to replace fighters like this and Keyshawn Davis and others, because the sport will continue to evolve. And while he and fighters like himself thumb their noses at the public and look to gain tremendous economic windfall, the sport will evolve and survive the fact that he was once here. This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. You can leave comments. Let me know what you think. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.